Hey guys, thanks for tuning into the channel. In this video, I just wanted to provide a quick sort of life update of how I'm getting on now, 8 months into this journey, pretty much, with regards to where I'm at with treatment, the doctor's appointments, all that stuff, just to provide you with a quick update because I've had quite a few questions in a lot of my previous videos just wondering what's going on with my treatment, what's going on with all things like that. So just a quick video update really of where I'm at in my journey with MS. If you like the video, as always, make sure you hit the like button and subscribe to the channel for more videos about my journey with multiple sclerosis.
I used to like seeing you in town. Now it's strange when you're not around. I used to like seeing you in town. Now it's strange when you're not around.
So it's midway through August now, and obviously I pretty much realised it myself that I had MS kind of January early this year when I had my optic neuritis that really affected my vision. So it's kind of been about 8 months now since this massive shock to my life has taken place, and so I thought I'd just provide you with a quick update of how I'm coping physically and mentally through this journey basically. In terms of treatment, I'm still waiting to have my appointment with the neurologist to discuss the various MS treatments. I was actually due to have it 2 or 3 weeks ago now, and just my luck, the appointment basically got cancelled on the day when I was literally sat in the waiting room. I've been waiting for the appointment for about 45 minutes, and then a nurse came up to me and said, really sorry, but unfortunately the doctor that was due to see you today has had a family bereavement and the appointment's got to be postponed. So that was really frustrating on my behalf because I've been waiting for this appointment for months now, and it's what I really wanted to get over was this next hurdle of what treatment am I going to go on, what effects is it going to have on my life. So yeah, I was hinging a lot on this appointment. So really disappointing that it got moved, and I'm still waiting for it to be rescheduled. So I'm still basically none the wiser as to what treatment I'm going to go on. I have had an appointment with the MS nurse now, so that was good to open a conversation with him. But with regards to the long-term treatment, I've got no idea. I know that when I had a private consultation with the neurologist, he suggested that I should go for one of the first-line treatments, so either Ocrevus, Lemtrada, or Tysabri. But I haven't had this confirmed in a proper meeting where I've talked about all the various different options yet. So really frustrating that I'm still waiting on that, but hopefully that appointment will be rescheduled soon and I can provide you with a further update from there, and I can go into my thoughts on the various different forms of treatment as well. In terms of my general overall health, I definitely feel loads better now than I was earlier this year. I've definitely kind of recovered from the 2 big relapses that I had earlier this year. So the optic neuritis, that's completely gone now. My vision's basically back to normal. And also the numbness that I had throughout the whole of my body, and the kind of difficulties with balancing to an extent just because my legs were so numb that I was struggling with little things like that. So, but all of that does seem to have recovered now, which is really good. And in myself, that's really given me a boost mentally as well as obviously physically, because physically I'm feeling pretty much 100%, and so that gives you a massive boost mentally as well. There's only a couple of little minor symptoms that I'm currently suffering with, a few little tingles that I get throughout my body when I'm, say for example, exercising or things like that. But all really minor really, that you don't really notice from day to day, and it definitely doesn't hamper me with my everyday life. The only other thing is that I play guitar, so I'm a guitarist, and my fingers still aren't 100% there because I did have numbness in my fingertips, and the control there in the fingers really wasn't great a couple of months ago. But that's getting there as well, as I say, so I'm almost back to literally 100% now. It's just those little things that I'm still noticing if I really focus in on it. In terms of what I'm doing, so as I mentioned in my previous video, I'm really kind of obsessive over the diet and lifestyle factors that are at play with MS. So I'm really doing everything that I can on the diet side and on the lifestyle to counteract this disease so that I can have a really good prognosis going forward. So as I mentioned in the last video, I'm on the Best Bet diet, which was developed by Ashton Embry. And this diet is really quite strict. But I've really dove into it head first, and I've been doing it now since, it must be, I think, the 28th of January. So I'm basically 7 months into it now. So I've had to kick out a lot of things that I never thought I'd be able to kick out of my diet. Like I was really hooked on Diet Coke and Pepsi Max. So lots of diet soft drinks that are filled with sweeteners and all sorts of other crap that you really shouldn't be putting into your system. And that was one thing that I was personally really hooked on, and I never thought that I could give it up. But the diagnosis of MS is just something that shakes your life completely, and for me there was no option. I had to go head first into this and do everything that I can. And so that's one of the things I've had to give up, along with dairy and gluten. And so for me, I was a big lover of pasta before this. I would just eat tons and tons of pasta in any way, shape or form. And so that's been a big thing to kick out. But in my opinion, it's all been completely worth it. I definitely feel like the diet has had really significant benefits to me personally straight away. So it's obviously having some kind of benefit that I definitely think will affect the MS in the future and in the long term and the short term. Because one thing that I noticed straight away was with my old diet, I was constantly drinking loads and loads of water every day. And I was literally waking up thirsty, I was constantly thirsty, I was going to the toilet all the time. So I would go for a wee about once an hour basically. And so that was something that always crossed my mind, that seemed like something wasn't quite right there. I don't think you should be drinking that much water and going to the toilet that much. But ever since I've switched up my diet now, I'm literally drinking probably half as much water and going to the toilet half as much as well, which has just been a crazy change for me, because it's something that I wasn't trying to change. I wasn't trying to drink less, but the change in my diet has caused this as a knock-on effect. And so in my mind, it obviously shows that my body was trying to flush something out constantly. And so potentially that could be something that I've kicked out of my diet. Maybe it's gluten, maybe it's something in the dairy that my body really wasn't reacting well with and was constantly just having to flush out all the time. And so that's something that I've taken on as a massive positive, because it can only benefit me going forward, and hopefully with the MS as well. I think with the diet as well, it was very easy at the start when we still had lockdown restrictions here in the UK, so you couldn't eat out, you couldn't meet your friends, your family, and so I was just buying all the right foods in the house, and I just got used to the diet really quickly. I could eat everything in the fridge, everything in the cupboard, so it was all fine. It definitely does get harder when you start to eat out, because not a lot of restaurants have very good gluten-free and dairy-free options. And also there are things on the Best Bet diet like soy and legumes that you have to avoid that tend to be in so many different foods. So you just have to be really careful, but it's something that I'm used to now already. And most places, to be honest, you can get something that is Best Bet diet friendly. So you just got to be careful and maybe check the menu before you go to a restaurant as well, just to make sure that it's got something on there that you can have. I've also been doing fasting on a regular basis, so I do intermittent fasting now every day. And then I also do prolonged fasting. So recently I tried the fasting mimicking diet, which I actually recorded. So I'm going to be putting a video out there soon on that, because there's some crazy, really amazing evidence that Dr. Walter Longo has produced about the effects of fasting and this specific diet on mice that had MS, and how it can generate the stem cells in the body to generate new tissue and really actually build back the myelin, which is crazy. That's something that, you know, all the treatment, they're trying to work out a way to do it, and it turns out that our bodies can do it themselves. We've just got to use these tactics that obviously as humans we were evolved to fast. Like we would never normally be eating 3, 4, 5, 6 times a day. We would go through long periods without food, and it turns out that those periods of fasting are when the body really gets to rejuvenate and rebuild. And so I've been trying that now, getting on well with that. So as I say, I'll be posting another video soon on that. But all these things that I'm doing on the diet side has really given me a mental boost as well, that this is kind of in my own hands, and that there are things that I can do, and I haven't just got to sit around and wait for the doctor's appointment to decide on the treatment. There are things that I can be doing, and so by tackling all this head on, it's really given me a push in the right direction. Then I'm also getting back into the gym as well, so I'm keeping really physically active. At the start of when I first went back to the gym, I was feeling pretty weak because obviously I've been in and out of hospital and had about 6 or 7 months off the gym anyway because they've been closed in the UK. But now I'm really starting to get back to really enjoying the gym, and it gives you that mental push every day that you're achieving something and that you're getting your body active. And I think it's really important with MS as well because you're kind of recalibrating your body and those connections, aren't you? You're rewiring constantly to remind your brain to connect to all the different muscles and things. So yeah, it's definitely something I'm going to keep up and keep doing over the coming weeks and months. So overall then, at this stage, I'm feeling really positive actually, completely different to a few months ago when I went through some very dark periods when at the first initial stages when I was feeling really quite ill, and you just don't know what the future lies. But I definitely feel the things that I'm doing in terms of the diet and lifestyle have given me that push to keep positive, and obviously the fact that I'm feeling really good in myself, that's the big one really, because I think if you are feeling like you've got some problems, whether it's numbness or muscle problems or anything else, then it really does get you down because you can't help but notice it all the time. So the fact that I've kind of recovered from those relapses has really helped, and I'm looking forward to finding out what treatment I can go on going forward, and that can be another positive boost in the direction of kind of keeping this disease at bay. So yeah, just a quick update for you there, and I'll be, as I've mentioned earlier, I'll be getting the video out soon on the fasting mimicking diet because that's crazy. The evidence behind that is really overwhelmingly positive. So yeah, I'll be getting that over soon. So just let me know in the comments if you've got any questions at all about what I'm doing, about the diet and things like that, because I'd love to help, because it's been amazing all the questions I've had so far on the other videos, and it's great to just build that sense of community and to be able to help other people out. So yeah, please do leave a comment below and like and subscribe as always, and I'll see you in the next video.
I used to like seeing you in town. Now